Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodhanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodhanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Thank you. So, may I request everyone to come in the front, please? Although we have the facility of the microphone, but it's good to have everybody come up front. Today, especially for all the Matajis, it's a very wonderful topic. Because today we're going to talk about Srimati Radharani's smile. We often find things in Bhagavatam which are hidden. And there are not many even gopis mentioned by name in Srimad Bhagavatam, other than Mother Yashoda and some elderly gopis, but young gopis are not mentioned. What to speak of Radharani, even her name is hidden. So today we will try to uncover some of that. But before we do that, let's start with the prayers. Om Agyanati Mridandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatham Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Triyubhascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Please repeat after me. Narayanam namaskritya Naram chaiva narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtukhi. So today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, and it is apt to read from Srimad Bhagavatam as Bhadra Purnima is coming up this week on the 29th of the month. And we'll speak a little bit about Bhadra Purnima also towards the end, because it is such an auspicious day of the year in the calendar. So today we'll be reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto number 10, chapter 30, verse number 28. So please repeat. Anaya radhito nunam Bhagavan Haririshvara Yanno vihaya govinda Prito yamana yadraha Anaya radhito nunam Bhagavan Haririshvara Yanno vihaya govinda Prito yamana yadraha Anaya radhito nunam Bhagavan Haririshvara Yanno vihaya govinda Prito yamana yadraha. Prabhus. Anaya radhito nunam Bhagavan Haririshvara Yanno vihaya govinda Prito yamana yadraha. Matajis. Anaya radhito nunam Bhagavan Haririshvara Yanno vihaya govinda Prito yamana yadraha. Anaya, by her. Aradhita, perfectly worshipped. Nunam, certainly. Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead. Hari, Lord Krishna. Ishvaraha, the supreme controller. Yat, in as much as. Na, us. Vihaya, rejecting. Govinda, Lord Govinda. Pritaha, pleased. Yam, whom. Anayat, led. Raha, to a secluded place. So, the translation is by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada's disciples. Srila Prabhupada translated up to the 14th chapter of 10th canto. Then a group of Srila Prabhupada's disciples collectively continued the mission of completing Srimad Bhagavatam. And all the translations, most of the translations were mainly done by Sri Gopi Pranadhana Prabhu. So the translations are by Srila Prabhupada's disciples. Certainly, this particular Gopi has perfectly worshipped the all-powerful personality of Godhead, Govinda, since he was so pleased with her that he abandoned the rest of us and brought her to a secluded place. Purport. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti explains that the word aradhita, refers to Srimati Radharani. He comments, the sage Sukadev Goswami has tried with all endeavor to keep her name hidden, but now it automatically shines forth from the moon of his mouth. That he has spoken her name is indeed her mercy, and thus the word Aradhita is like the rumbling of the kettle drum sounded to announce her great good fortune. So, although the gopis spoke as if jealous of Srimati Radharani, they were actually ecstatic to see that she had captured Sri Krishna. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti quotes the following detailed description of Srimati Radharani's footprints, as given by Srila Rupa Goswami in his Sri Ujjvala Nilamani. At the base of the large toe of her left foot is the mark of a barley corn. Below that mark is a disc. Below the disc is an umbrella. And below the umbrella is a bracelet. A vertical line extends from the middle of her foot to the juncture of her large and second toes. At the base of the middle toe is a lotus. Below that is a flag with a banner. And below the flag is a creeper together with a flower. At the base of her small toe is an elephant god, and upon her heel is a half moon. Thus, there are 11 marks on her left foot. At the base of the large toe of her right foot is a conch shell, and below that a spear. At the base of the small toe of her right foot is a sacrificial altar. Below that, an earring, and below the earring, a club. Along the base of the second, third, fourth, and small toes is the mark of a mountain, below which is a chariot, and on the heel is a fish. Thus, altogether, there are 19 distinguishing marks on the soles of Srimati Radharani's lotus feet. Now, this description has been included of the marks on the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani in this particular verse, mainly because gopis were following the footsteps. They were looking for Krishna. Krishna had left. This chapter is entitled The Search by the Gopis. So they could identify Krishna's footsteps, and next to Krishna's footsteps, they could see these particular signs of the footsteps with specific marks, which made them recognize that it was Srimati Radharani's footsteps, that Krishna had left the Rasamandali. He had left with Radharani. So Krishna's feet also has some very specific marks. We will not go into those today, but that is how they were able to recognize that it was Krishna's lotus footprints alongside Radharani's in the dust of Vrindavan. So Srimati Radharani is personification of Krishna's Ladini Shakti, the pleasure potency. And Krishna has innumerable potencies, but they were specified principally in 3 different categories. And what are those 3 different categories? Sandhini Shakti, Samvit Shakti, and Ladini Shakti. So 3 primary ones. So Sandhini Shakti or Sandhini potency is the existence aspect. The Samvit Shakti or potency is the consciousness aspect. But the Ladini Shakti is the pleasure aspect. So pleasure potency. So there are the 3 primary ones. And Krishna is the reservoir of the pleasure. And all the pleasure potency of Krishna is provided by Srimati Radharani. Because he is the Ladini Shakti. Therefore, the position of Srimati Radharani is so special. Now, all of Krishna's paraphernalia that we see on the altar, that paraphernalia is provided by whom? Balaram. So whenever Krishna needs something, it is Balaram who is providing all those things that manifests Balaram manifests himself in that form, whatever Krishna needs. So if Krishna needs to lie on the bed, Amai, when you need to lie on the bed, what do? You run to your room and you lie on the bed. But when Krishna needs to lie on the bed, Balram shows up. And Balram becomes his bed. So in Garbha ocean, when Krishna needed to lie down, what happened? Sheshnag appeared. Balaram expands and becomes Ananta Shesha, and Krishna can lie down. Yes? And same way in the temple, all the articles of our worship, right? They are expansions of Balaram. They are manifestations of Balaram. So the chamar, the lamp, the peacock feather, the incense, the bells, everything is expansion of Lord Balaram because it's being used to please Krishna. So in similar way, all of Krishna's pleasure aspects are simply based on Srimati Radharani. So Srimati Radharani manifests herself as Krishna's pleasure. Apparently, Srimati Radharani appeared as daughter of King Vrishabhanu and mother Kirtida, yes, Kirtida Sundari. So in Vrindavan, Krishna performs all these human-like pastimes in his Nara Leela. He appears as a human being, as a human child, and appears to take birth. Yes? And his father is who? Nanda Maharaj. And his mother is? Bases are clear. Good. I just wanted to make sure everybody's on the same page. Yeah. Similarly, all of Krishna's other associates of Vrindavan, they also take birth in cowherd families. There are some very aristocratic families, cowherd families, very aristocratic cowherd families. And that one such family was King Vrishabhanu's family. And Radharani appeared as daughter of King Vrishabhanu. Now, there is an interesting twist in Srila Rupa Goswami's drama. There is a drama that he wrote. It's called Lalita Madhava. There is a drama by Lalita Madhava, by the name Lalita Madhava. Rupa Goswami has written. He has given a very, very sweet and different aspect of how Srimati Radharani appeared. So he's mentioning in that drama that there is a mountain by the name, some of you might have heard Vindhyachal Mountains. Vinda Mountain is also known as Vindhyachal Mountains. So he's mentioning that Vindhyachal Mountain became rather very envious hearing that Himalaya's daughter got married to Lord Shiva. See, envy also appears in other realms, not only in material world, in amongst us. Yes? So now Himalaya is a mountain, Vindhyachal is a mountain, and they are big mountains. They are very prominent mountains. They are also kings in their own way. So Vindhyachal felt that he must somehow exceed Himalaya's position. So Himalaya's daughter got married to Lord Shiva. So he wanted to have a daughter who would have a husband who is even greater than Lord Shiva. So what does he do? Anybody who needs something greater has to work hard. So King Vinda also said, okay, I'm going to perform a lot of austerities. And when he does that, all these sacrifices were conducted by all the great sages. So as a result, he got 2 daughters. But soon after the birth of those daughters, there was a time in Krishna Leela when Putana, she was killing all the children, and Kamsa had sent her to actually kill Krishna. But because she did not know how Krishna looks, she was killing all the children. So she stole these 2 daughters that were born. Yeah. So when she stole the daughters, she was flying high through the sky, and seeing that the daughters were stolen by Putana, the Brahmanas in the assembly of King Vinda started to recite prayers. And they started to recite something very specific mantra. It's called Rakshasi Nidhan Mantra. So Rakshasi is Putana. And Nidhan means to be killed, to be destroyed. So they're killing. So now they're reciting this powerful mantra, and Putana gets scared. She goes like, you know what? Out of all these children, I can let go of 2. And their daughters anyway, I have to kill a boy. So being afraid, Putna drops the two babies. And it is said that these two babies, they fall into two lotuses in river Yamuna. And they were floating by when King Vrishabhanu finds one of them. And the other one is found by King Chandrabhanu. So now you can know where Radharani, Srimati Radharani came from. And the daughter of King Chandrabhanu was known as Chandravali. Yes? So this is another aspect of Srimati Radharani's appearance that Srila Rupa Goswami has described in this drama Lalita Madhava. It is dramatic, yes? So it is a drama, yeah? So Srimati Radharani is the personification or manifestation of Krishna's pleasure potency. And Krishna is the source of all the pleasure. Krishna is Anandamaya, yes? So all the pleasure of Krishna is supplied by Srimati Radharani. So in the spiritual sky, everything is personified, it's personalized. But in the material world, in the material nature, everything is material. We all know that, yeah? So even like our bodies are material, they're made of matter, so obviously, right? Everything here is made of matter. But in spiritual world, in spiritual sky, everything is conscious. Everything, Chinmay, Chitmay, the conscious world, the spiritual world is conscious world, and everything, every personality is conscious as well. All the persons are conscious. So, for example, Krishna's pillow is a person. Krishna's bed is a person. The land of Vrindavan is a person. Yamuna Mai is a person, who we see as a river flowing in India. Even Ganga Mai is a person. So all the associates of Krishna in Vrindavan, in the material world, are a person. So in spiritual world, Srimati Radharani, amongst all those devotees, all those persons, is considered the topmost of all the devotees. Often, due to lack of knowledge, or we are less informed, we say that Radharani is not mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. But here we can see that our acharyas have pointed out that Radharani has been mentioned. The truth behind Radharani, the identity of Srimati Radharani, is so exalted that everyone might not be able to understand. And that's why it's hidden. Somewhat it has been kept hidden. There's another reason I heard in a class by Radhanath Maharaj. He mentions that Sukadev Goswami doesn't speak about Srimati Radharani and other gopis because he's afraid that Parikshit Maharaj has only 7 days and 7 nights. That if he starts speaking, he will go into a trance and time will be lost. He won't be able to finish Bhagavatam. So that's why he just stays on the periphery and in a hidden words that he is referred to Srimati Radharani. That's why she has been kept somewhat hidden. But time and time again, it is revealed, like it has been revealed in this verse, that the root of Radharani's name, why Srimati Radharani is Radha, has been revealed in this verse because it reads what? Anaya Radhita Aradhana. Yeah? So Radha is coming there. The word Aradhana means devotional service or worship. That's what Aradhana means. And the one who is most expert in Aradhana is Srimati Radharani. That is what has been pointed out. Nobody can compare to her service at all. There is no comparison. In devotion, she is the most exalted. And we'll go through some pastimes which actually prove it. That why she is considered the most exalted. Why she is the pleasure potency of Krishna. Even when Krishna is unconscious, thinking of Radha and how he comes back to consciousness. So all the individuals for Krishna's pleasure are her expansions. Krishna performs, even Chandravali is actually expansion of Radharani. So Krishna performs all his pastimes in Vrindavan through his loving exchanges with gopis, and all the gopis are expansions of Srimati Radharani. Sometimes it seems that gopis are competing with Srimati Radharani. For example, Chandravali, yes? In a way, she is a competitor. She tries to take away Krishna. And it seems that, she is competing with Radharani because Radharani always wants to be with Krishna. But Chandravali is playing different tricks, how I can, get association of Krishna. So and as through the example of that pastime of the drama, Lalita Madhava, it seems because Chandravali and Radharani have appeared together, she is the first expansion. Chandravali, that is the first expansion of Srimati Radharani. Now, why this competition between the two? It is said it is just to increase the sweetness of the loving exchanges between Krishna and the gopis. It is pointed out in Chaitanya Charitamrita by Srila Rupa Goswami. He writes, Ahir eva gati premnaha. Love does not move in a straight line. Now, our loving exchanges with our significant others or our children are also not ever in the straight line. Always curved and crooked. But where is this coming from? The material world is a perverted reflection of the spiritual world. So if Krishna and Radha's loving exchanges are not in the straight line, how can we expect ours to be any different? So it is said that there are always obstacles. Apparently, obstacles actually make these loving exchanges so relishable, so exciting. If all we had was love, after a period of time it becomes boring also. If there is no excitement in a relationship, then you cannot appreciate the loving exchanges we have amongst ourselves. Yes? So that is what is happening in Vrindavan. These loving exchanges, with excitement, not in a straight line, but they yet are so relishable. So people think that these relationships that Krishna has with gopis in Vrindavan are sometimes not proper. They are inappropriate. One may say that why is Krishna acting in such a way? They might question, is this even right? Moralists think that way. But the actual understanding is that Krishna is the supreme proprietor. Everything is coming from him. He is the owner of everything. In Bhagavad Gita is clearly telling Arjuna, Aham sarvasya prabhavo, mata sarvam pravartate. Everything is emanating from me. Everything belongs to me. That is what is Krishna's position. So if the proprietor is enjoying something, how can anything be wrong with that? He's the owner of everything anyway. So this setup, the whole setup is because of Yoga Maya in Vrindavan. Now, sometimes the question is, Radharani is married to Abhimanyu. Yet Radharani is, going in the middle of the night for rasa dance with Krishna. Last night, me and Mahabha Prabhu were having this discussion. And we were exchanging this question answers ourselves. And I asked him, what do you think? Like, why is this happening? Why does it happen this way? So he said that my understanding was that Abhimanyu, it's like, sometimes when we travel with our deities. We travel with our deities, and when we cannot take our deities, we sometimes take the picture of our deities. So wherever we are worshipping our deity, our beloved deity. So Radharani is like that. Radharani wants to be with Krishna. But it's like the personification of Krishna's deity is Abhimanyu. Yet Abhimanyu had never touched Radharani. So she's there, but she is still hankering to be with Krishna, the original person. So she leaves. So I thought that explanation was very beautiful that Mahabha Prabhu shared with me. So in this respect, there was one time a pastime of Srila Prabhupada in Philadelphia, that there was this professor, a Bengali professor from India. He was very, very heavy in terms of, how can Krishna do this? How can Krishna have this relationship? He cannot have, such a position as a Supreme Personality of Godhead. How can, what he did is not right. It's not appropriate. It doesn't set a right example. And Prabhupada was trying to explain to him, what is Krishna's position? What are these pastimes? That Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's the proprietor of everything. There is no question of immorality. Whatever Krishna does is the height of morality. So Srila Prabhupada was trying to explain to him, but this guy was not understanding. Then Prabhupada then got a little bit grave. And Srila Prabhupada said, your relationship with your wife is immoral. Because you have stolen Krishna's property. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Aham Vijay Prada Pita. I am the father of everyone. That includes your wife. So you have an immoral relationship with your wife. Then this professor shut up. He didn't say a word after that. So that is why Krishna's Vrindavan's pastimes are kept very secret, because most common people cannot understand because of the lack of proper understanding. They have not been educated in a systematic manner. So that's why for the understanding to become clear, one has to read Srimad Bhagavatam from the first canto, first chapter, and not jump to the 10th canto. Yes, we are reading one verse of 10th canto, just because the pastime is very sweet. The revelation of Radharani's name in this verse is very sweet. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had a very intimate associate. His name was Vasudev Ghosh. And in that respect, he sang, Yadi Gaura na hoito tavake hoito ki mane dharitam de. Radhara mahima premara sasima jagata janatake. If Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gauranga Mahaprabhu had not come, Yadi Gaura na hoito, if he had not come, if he did not manifest himself in this world, then how would I have maintained my body? Kimane dharitam ke de. Prema rasa sima. The height of loving exchange. Radhara mahima, which is the glory of Srimati Radharani. Who would have revealed this to the world? If Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had not come to the world, how could we have understood the glory of Srimati Radharani? So it was Mahaprabhu who came and who revealed the glory of Srimati Radharani. He is the one who revealed the glory of Krishna's dealings with the cowherd damsels of Vrindavan. It's also mentioned who would have the ability, who would have the strength to understand the loving exchanges between Krishna and the gopis of Vrindavan. The gopis of Vraja, the Krishna's dealings with them is not a simple subject matter. So, if Mahaprabhu had not come to reveal that to us, we would actually not be even talking about it. It would never be revealed. So, it is due to the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that we get to know who Srimati Radharani is. And another way to look at it is that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, most of the people used to think that Krishna is the incarnation of Vishnu. Krishna is the incarnation of Kshirodakshai Vishnu. Generally in the material world, it is true that Krishna's incarnations are expansions of Kshirodakshai Vishnu. And that's why in India it is always understood that Vishnu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because in the material world, all the incarnations of Krishna are coming from Kshirodakshai Vishnu. So, although in Bhagavatam, it is clearly stated in the first canto, chapter number 3, verse number 28, which is, Ete chamsha kala pumsa Krishna yastu bhagavan swayam indrari pyakulam loke madrari madhyanti yuge yuge. Yes. So in Bhagavatam, it is clearly stated that after all the 22 incarnations of Krishna's expansions have been described, it is said that Krishna yastu Bhagavan Swayam. Ete chams kalam pumsa Krishna yastu Bhagavan Swayam. That they are Krishna's expansions or expansions of his expansions. So all the expansions that we know of, Dasha Avataras also, today we were discussing in our Sunday school class. They're all expansions of Krishna. Krishna, he is not the avatar. Krishna is the avatari. He is not the avatar. He is the avatari. He is the source of all incarnations. So Mahaprabhu has revealed that. Even Brahma Samhita and in Vishnu Yamala, all these things are mentioned. Krishna's identity is revealed as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ramadi Murti Shokalaniya Mena Tishtan Nanavataram Akarod Bhuvanesha Kintu Krishna Swayam Samabhavat Paramapuman Yo Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Krishna has manifested himself in various incarnations, like Ram, Nrsingadev, Varah, Kurma. They're all mentioned in this verse. But Krishna is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. Srimati Radharani's identity also is similar, in a similar way, very beautifully revealed through the discussions between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Roy. So Mahaprabhu is asking questions and Ramananda Rai is answering them. He's trying his very best, and we'll see how he's failing. But due to mercy of Mahaprabhu, he answers his questions. So just like sometimes in our Sunday class, as a teacher, we ask questions to students and students are sometimes struggling. Same way the position was of Ramananda Roy in this very, very sweet pastime. So Krishna, just like Krishna instructed Arjuna, and Arjuna is asking questions. Similarly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is, having this discussion with Ramananda Rai about what is the basic question. We all, because of this question, we all came to Krishna consciousness. What is the goal of life? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is thinking, I'm going to test Ramananda Rai today. How much has he learnt? So he's asking him, Ramananda, what is the goal of life? Ramananda Rai is quoting the scriptures. He's saying, Mahaprabhu, Varnashram. Mahaprabhu is rejecting. No, it's external. What is the goal of life, Ramananda? He's saying, Karma Yoga. Mahaprabhu said, no, that is also external. And then Mahaprabhu saying, no, you can do better, Ramananda. Tell me, please. I know you're hiding it. You tell me. So Ramananda says, Karma Tyag. Mahaprabhu says, still external, Ramananda, but you know it. You just don't want me to know. That's why you're not telling me. You please tell me. So, like this, one after another, Mahaprabhu was rejecting whatever answer, Ramananda Rai was giving. So Mahaprabhu said, then Ramananda Rai ko chamakta hai kuch. He says, this discussion is about devotional service. Mahaprabhu said, yes, pure devotional service. Not mixed, Ramananda, not mixed, pure devotional service. So now Ramananda Rai has gotten a little bit more confident. He says, Mahaprabhu, karma mishra bhakti. So now Mahaprabhu is like, now he's talking. And then he goes, he starts quoting scriptures. Mahaprabhu is listening. He goes, Yad karosi, yad asnasi, yad juhosi, tadasi, yad, he's quoting Bhagavad Gita. Krishna's own words he's quoting to Mahaprabhu. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you give in charity, you should do it for me. Now, here, Mahaprabhu looks at him and Mahaprabhu even rejects that. He's shocked. Everything you do, everything I eat, I have to offer. He's rejecting that also. Abhi karu to kya karu? So he says, when Ramananda Roy comes to a point, he says, Jnana Yoga? Sometimes what happens is that all the answers are rejected. Now we start throwing anything to the wall that sticks. So Ramananda Roy says, Jnana Yoga, which means Jnana Mishra Bhakti. Devotional service to the Lord mixed with Jnana, with knowledge. Mahaprabhu looks at him, he rejects that also. But when it came to pure devotion, because Mahaprabhu gave him a hint, so pure devotion, which is mentioned where? Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, first verse, which is Jnana Karmadi Anavritam. Yes. Then Mahaprabhu accepted it. That Mahaprabhu accepted. At that point, he said, yes, eho hoy, Bengali, eho hoy, that is right. Tell me what is beyond that. Now, in this way, Ramananda Rai is already sweating. So many questions, everything is getting rejected. Now, when it's like got something right, he's asking, what is beyond that? So now, he's coming to the point of different types of devotion, which is Shantaras, Dasyaras, Sakhyaras, Madhuryaras, Vatsalyaras. So many different rasas, so many different relationships one can have with Krishna. So Ramananda Rai describes that, and then at one point Mahaprabhu is saying, tell me what is beyond that. Ramananda Rai was like, Mahaprabhu, abhi bachcha ki jaan loge kya? I did not know that, anybody could ask what is beyond that, But you have been asking, and you are the one actually who is providing with all the answers only. So it is you who is giving the answers. It's just you are empowering me to speak them. It is your causeless mercy that you are bestowing upon me. So if you continue to do that, then probably I'll be able to answer your questions. So like that, he's responding to Mahaprabhu. So in this way, Ramananda Roy was, responding that, Krishna was dancing with 16,000 gopis. 16,000 gopis at the same time. In this rasa dance, there was one Krishna between two gopis. Okay, some of you have been to last 2 weekends, these Garba events that are happening around the town. You see how the big circle is, and somebody turns around in one side and hits the stick on somebody's head, and then they do the same thing on their hand on the other side. Yes? So it's a lot of fun, right? Sticks hitting. Sometimes, in between, sometimes we also hit the stick, which is also good. But Krishna's rasa dance is perfect. There is no hitting on the head. So Krishna is dancing between two gopis, and in the center is Krishna, and then gopis on the side. And Ramananda Rai is pointing out that Krishna, you are dancing this gopi, between thousands of gopis, and somehow this one gopi becomes upset, and she leaves. She leaves the Rasa Mandali. And she leaves, and Krishna notices that. And Krishna starts following that gopi. So, for her sake, Krishna leaves the other 16,000 gopis. So he doesn't leave. Krishna is everywhere. But Krishna follows this gopi. But now, because of Yogamaya potency, the gopis are thinking that Krishna is left. So this gopi must be very special. And in this way, through this discussion, Radharani's identity is revealed. And that's why this verse, where we started, in the purport, the description of the marks on the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani is mentioned because those lotus imprints of those marks are in the dust of Vrindavan when gopis are going in search of Krishna. So now we can start the class, because this was just the backstage setting of how we get to this point of Srimati Radharani's lotus feet. So, Srila Sanatan Goswami has mentioned in Brihat Bhagavatamrita, in both parts, his objective is to come to a point of establishing Radharani's identity as the greatest of all devotees. Why? We'll see why. The first part is describing that Narad Muni is gone in search of this devotee, who's the greatest of all. And he's looking for this devotee in all parts of the world and universes. He starts first from Brahma. Oh, sorry, not Brahma, a Brahmana, who is worshipping at the confluence of Yamuna river and Ganga river in Prayag. So he was so impressed with this Brahmana's service and devotion, his way of worship, that he was worshipping actually Shaligram Shila. So Narad Muni was so impressed. Then he goes and Narad Muni tells this Brahmana, you are the greatest devotee of the Lord. Now this Brahmana says, no. I am not the greatest devotee of the Lord. There is actually a king in South India. He is the greatest devotee of the Lord. You should go to him. So, and then, he's giving many, many reasons why this king is the greatest devotee of the Lord. He explained that, look, I am just a Brahmana. My occupation is to worship. That is my job. But king is a Kshatriya. He's a warrior. His business is to rule the kingdom. But in spite of that, he is serving the Lord. That makes him a greatest devotee. Because he's besides his primary occupation, he's doing something beyond that. So he's the greatest devotee. So Narad Muni then says, okay, I have to go to this king. So he goes to the king. And he goes to the king and says, King, you are the greatest devotee. The king says, no. I am not the greatest devotee. Indra is the greatest devotee. So then Narad Muni, just to speed up a little bit, Narad Muni goes to Indra. And Indra says, no, I am not the greatest devotee. Brahma is the greatest devotee. You go to Brahma. So now Narad Muni is like, he's looking at his iWatch, his thing, how many steps I have done today. Kahan bhej rahe hain mere ko? So Narad Muni then goes to Brahma. And Brahma says, Narada, I am not the greatest devotee, my son. You have to go to Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is the greatest devotee. Now Narada says, Abbe, kahan Kailash bhejenge wapas? So Narada goes to Lord Shiva. And Shiva says, no. I am not the greatest devotee. The residents of Vaikuntha are the greatest of all the devotees. You should go to Vaikuntha. And Narad Muni, before he is leaving, even Parvati chimes in. But among the residents of Vaikuntha, Lakshmi Devi is the greatest devotee. So you go see her. Now Narad Muni goes to Vaikuntha. But Lord Shiva said, even greater than the residents of Vaikuntha actually is Prahlad Maharaj. His devotion is even greater than devotion of residents of Vaikuntha. Narad is like so confused. Like he's like, kahan jaun to kahan jaun? Like everywhere I go, nobody is willing to accept that they are the greatest devotee of the Lord. So now Narad Muni says, okay, I'm going to go to Prahlad Maharaj. And that's it. So he goes to Prahlad Maharaj. And Prahlad Maharaj said, my dear Narada, I am not the greatest devotee. What kind of devotion did you see in me? As a child, I have developed some attachment to the Lord, but devotion means service. Just coming to temple, worshipping the deity, participating in arti, taking prasad and going away is not just service. Service is what makes us greater in eyes of others, in eyes of Lord, which matters as a devotee. Our bhakti is incomplete without service. Service is not something that is a comfort zone. Service is an uncomfort zone. Sometimes we at our workplace say that, hey, change is a constant in organization these days. And change is very uncomfortable for most people. Service is like that. Service is not being in a comfort zone. Going beyond our comfort zone means service. Extending ourselves, sometimes at our personal discomfort as well. But for whom? For what? Not for a material gain. For service of the Lordships, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, he said that expression of devotion is through service. Look at the kind of service Hanuman did. Not me. Hanuman is the greatest devotee. So now, Narad Muni is like so perplexed. He's like, okay, I have to go to Hanuman. So now I'll go to Hanuman. So when Narada goes to Hanuman, he says, Hanuman, you are the greatest devotee. Hanuman says, I cannot speak the word, they're recording this thing, but Hanuman says to Narad Muni, I am not the greatest devotee, my lord. Pandavas are the greatest devotees. You go to Pandavas. So Ghum Phir ke pura, is back to Pandavas. So now they go to Pandavas. Narad Muni goes to Pandavas. Pandavas says, Prabhu, we are not the greatest devotees. The greatest devotees are residents of Dwarka. They are the greatest devotees. So now he says, okay, I have to go to Dwarka. So he goes to Dwarka. But the residents of Dwarka says, we are amongst us. None of us are the greatest devotees, but there is one person amongst us who is the greatest devotee. And that is Uddhava. Now he goes to Uddhava, getting closer and closer. And Uddhava says, no, my lord, I am not the greatest devotee. The greatest devotees are the residents of Vrindavan. They are the greatest devotees. And in this way, in Vrindavan, Shrimati Radharani's position is established as the greatest amongst all those devotees of Vrindavan. So, कितना घूम फिर के आई वॉच में स्टेप्स पूरे साल के पूरे हो गए नारद मुनि के. And now he is just, he's come to a conclusion that Shrimati Radharani is the greatest devotee amongst all. That is the position of Shrimati Radharani. So in a very systematic way, Sanatana Goswami has established different levels of devotion. And out of all those different levels of devotion, Shrimati Radharani's position is demonstrated to be the most exalted. Apparently, Krishna's relationship with Radharani is arranged with all sorts of impediments. Sometimes devotees feel bad. Why did King Vrishbhanu had to get Radharani married to Abhimanyu? The general feeling is that why not to Krishna? But this was Yogamaya's arrangement. This was her arrangement to enhance those sweet pastimes of Krishna Leela. So the understanding is that although Radharani was married to Abhimanyu, he could never touch her. He never ever touched her. So not only that she is married to somebody else, there is great impediment now for her to meet with Krishna. Because in between there are two very interesting characters in this pastimes. Jatila and Kutila. So, and just in material world, they have the title of a mother-in-law and a sister-in-law. This is also coming from the spiritual world. So guys, don't complain about it. Sorry, Matajis don't complain about it. So now, Jatila and Kutila, they are always suspecting something is going on with Radharani. They think there is something and we want to catch Radharani red-handed. And every time they are suspecting something, Krishna is around. So they're like, something is going on here. So now what happens is that in Nectar of Devotion, actually Srila Rupa Goswami is describing, there is one anecdote. One day, Abhimanyu went away. This is not the Abhimanyu of Mahabharata, those who joined late. It is a different Abhimanyu. So one day, Abhimanyu went away to some distant place. And taking advantage of the time when Abhimanyu is gone, who shows up? Our little Krishna. He comes in the form of Abhimanyu. So Abhimanyu, Krishna as Abhimanyu enters the house where Radharani is, where Jatila and Kutila are. So Abhimanyu's mother, seeing him, she asks, what happened? You are supposed to go and do your business. Why did you come back? He goes, oh mother, I was missing you so much. I thought I will do my job later, sometime. I will just come back to you. Mother is so happy. When sons come to the mother and say something like this, mother is very happy. And sons might or might not have an ulterior motive to be back to the mother. So, mother Jatila was so happy. And she said, oh my son, go inside and relax. So he goes inside the house. In the meantime, real Abhimanyu comes back. And Jatila asks, who are you? He says, mother, you cannot recognize your own son. I am your son. Jatila picks up a broom and starts beating him up. You are my son? Let me show you. This is the kind of treatment I give to my son. You come. So Abhimanyu is so confused, he runs away. And then finally, when they got to know who is the real Abhimanyu and who is the fake Abhimanyu, they run inside. And in the meantime, Krishna, as Abhimanyu, starts to run away. So in this way, they see that something is wrong between Krishna and Radharani, but they cannot catch them red-handed. So just waiting, they're just waiting. Like one day we are going to catch them. We are going to catch them. We're going to prove it to the world. We're going to prove it to the residents of Vrindavan. What is going on here? So one day, Kutila, who is Abhimanyu's sister, she heard someone talking. Some talking is going on. Like she could hear something coming, some noise coming out of people talking from Radharani's room. She comes close to the room and she's eavesdropping. She was convinced That's Krishna. So she thought, today I'm going to catch them. But as soon as she opens the door, Krishna jumps out of the window and he runs away again. She saw Krishna running away, but she could not catch him. And she was like, again another chance lost. I have lost the chance of catching Krishna red-handed. So this time, what she does, as she is walking out, she's like very dejected, but she notices something on the bed. She finds Krishna's flute. In the hurry, when Krishna ran away, he forgot his flute. And then she says, I got you today. She takes the flute and she drags Radharani to the courtyard and she calls everyone and starts to describe what actually happened. That I was hearing some noises, I opened the door, I saw him running away, that rascal ran away. And today I've caught her red-handed. Look, I have the flute of Krishna. And Radharani is standing quietly, head bowed down, shedding tears. And at this time, someone enters. A friend in need is a friend indeed, and her name is Purnamasi. And she walks in and she goes, what happened? Why is my Radhika crying? What did you do to her? Why have you all gathered here? Then Kutila very elaborately started to describe what happened. So Purnamasi started to laugh and she could not stop laughing. And Kutila got very upset. And she said, what's wrong with you? This is such a serious matter and you're laughing. And Purnamasi said, did you not notice what happened last night? She goes, what happened? She goes, there was a shower of flutes everywhere. Let's go to your bedroom, Kutila. Let's go to your bedroom. So they went to Kutila's bedroom and she found 3 flutes on Kutila's bed compared to 1 flute on Radharani's bed. Then Purnamasi says, Jatila, let us go to your bedroom. So they went to Jatila. Now Jatila was already so confused and scared, like what are they going to find on my bed? They find 12 flutes on her bed. So we see, this is how Krishna performs his pastimes in Vrindavan. So in this kind of situation, Srimati Radharani feels very bad that people are thinking she's unchaste. But she cannot help it. She cannot help because she has so much love. Her whole existence is for Krishna. So therefore she decided that she's going to give up her body because everybody talks like this about her. So she felt it is pointless maintaining this body. Maybe in next life, Krishna will give me a chance and I'll be born in a situation where I'll be able to be with Krishna all the time. So thinking like this, she's like, I'm going to give up my body. So, but Krishna understood what was going on in Radharani's heart. And Krishna, by this time, he had ran away. He was back with Mother Yashoda and he's lying in the lap of Mother Yashoda. And he's able to project everything that Radharani is thinking in her heart. And just thinking like that, Krishna faints. Mother Yashoda is like, my child in my lap is not responding. What happened? She screams. Nand Maharaj came running. And Mother Yashoda tells him, please go, get a doctor. Quickly, my son is not responding to me. He's become unconscious. There is no sign of life in his body. Go get a doctor. Now, Nand Maharaj runs outside. Now, if we were to run outside a hospital, and there are so many people, we can recognize a doctor by somebody wearing a white coat, right? Back in the Vedic times also, there was, these doctors used to dress in a certain way. These Vaidyas, they used to dress in a certain way that Nand Maharaj, as soon as he saw one person coming on the road, he goes, you are the doctor, you come with me. And he took him to the direction of his house. And, so this Ayurvedic doctor, he arrives. Nand Maharaj explains to him, my son has suddenly fainted. Can you please do something? Bring him back to consciousness. The doctor said, do not worry. I can even make a dead man alive. Thoda suspicious. So the doctor checked Krishna, He goes, Maharaj, very, very serious condition. There is only one remedy for this. And the remedy is water from Yamuna. Everyone said, Yamuna water? Yes, yes. There is plenty of water flowing in Yamuna. We will get it. Doctor said, no. But there is one condition. Not just the water from Yamuna. This water has to be carried in a bucket with 1,000 holes in it. Thoda complicated ho gaya abhi. So now everybody said, there have to be 1,000 holes in a bucket to carry the water. How will the water get it? How is it possible with so many holes that we can bring water from Yamuna to give to Krishna? He said, yeah, I know. It is practically impossible. But only a chaste woman can carry water in this bucket. Mother Yashoda said, then I will take the bucket and I will get it. The doctor said, no. If mother does it, then it will not work. So the different gopis and ladies of Vrindavan, they tried. As soon as they would fill this bucket with the water from Yamuna and they started to carry, the water will drain out. Then the doctor said, this is a very serious situation. It seems like there is no chaste women in this town of Vrindavan. Anyway, let me see. So he made some astrological calculations. And he said, I have found only 2 persons that are in Vrindavan that actually fit this calculation, and they can bring the water in this bucket. And everybody asked, who are they? Said, their names are Jatila and Kutila. So now, everyone ran towards the house of Jatila and Kutila. And they got there, and they explained what is going on. And Jatila and Kutila, they heard all this and they were very happy. See, we always used to tell you, we are the most chaste people in this town. Nobody would believe us. They said, long live this doctor, that he recognized what we are worth. Okay. So they proudly, walked towards Nand Maharaj's house. Kutila said, Mother, why should you take the trouble? You are so old. I will go and get it. So she very proudly, she picks up this bucket, walks to the river, dips the bucket in the river. But as soon as she picks it up, the water drains out. Jatila, she started to shout, you are a disgrace to our family. Drown yourself in the same river. What have you done? Now saying this, like Jatila says, but now I can do it. Okay, so she takes the bucket. She takes the bucket, she fills the bucket, she dips it in the water, and as soon as she takes out, the water falls out again. Now they are both very confused. The doctor says, what do we do now? According to calculations, they are the most chaste women in this whole Brajmandal. What to do now? Let me do some more calculations. So this time, another name came out. The doctor said, seems like there is maybe one more person in this Vrindavan who is very, very chaste. Everyone was eager to know what's the name. Everyone is looking at him. All the eyes fixated on this doctor. And he reveals the name. He said, her name is Radhika. And everyone was very excited except Jatila and Kutila. They started to laugh. They go, Radhika? Chaste? You must be joking. Mother Yashoda didn't hear anything. She said, you know what? Nobody is doing anything. Nobody has the qualification to bring this water. I am going to myself go and get Radhika. So she ran. She ran to the house where Sri Radhika is. And she explains everything that is going on. And Radhika said, already, mother, I have so much criticism and trouble. Please don't subject me to this more embarrassing situation. Then Mother Yashoda said, Radha, this is the matter of Krishna's life. You have to come. You are my only hope. Otherwise, my son will die. Now, when the mother pleads, obviously the hearts melt. So, due to her persuasion, Sri Radhika agrees to come. With a heavy heart and a bowed head, she quietly comes to the house with a shake. Her hands are trembling and shaking. She picks up this bucket and she walks up to the river and she dips it into the water As soon as she picks the bucket out of the water, not a single drop of water fell out. And then this water was brought to the doctor. And the doctor chanted some mantras and then sprinkled some water on Krishna's body, and Krishna got up. So in this way, Krishna proved that Srimati Radharani is the most chaste of all women. Srimati Radharani ki jai. So Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is also mentioned in his Radhika Ashtakam that she is worshipped by the most chaste of all chaste women, who are Sati Parvati. They are considered to be the most chaste of the ladies. And Srimati Radharani is worshipable even for them. So this is how Krishna establishes the ultimate consideration of the chastity and the position of Srimati Radharani. Now, I think you all can guess who is the doctor. That's Krishna himself. He expanded himself to be the doctor. He arranged this whole pastime. He treated himself by this way. So time and time again, it has been pointed out that Srimati Radharani is the topmost and the best of all the devotees. And that is what really matters, because the ultimate perfection of our life is to develop love for Krishna. And there is nobody else that can exhibit that except Srimati Radharani, because she's the epitome of that loving exchanges of Srimati for Krishna, that love for Krishna. So the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, which is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, that we are indicating that Srimati Radharani is with Krishna, because the Maha Mantra is the ultimate loving manifestation in Vrindavan. These are the inconceivable pastimes of Krishna in the forests of Vrindavan, because they are the ultimate spiritual exchanges that happen between the Supreme Personality of Godhead and His eternal consort. Now, the topic today's discussion was Srimati Radhika's smile. So I had a couple of pastimes that I wanted to share with you, because they're very, very sweet. And I will not go into the background of some of the verses from Shastras that actually establish and talk about the smile of Srimati Radharani, because in Srimad Bhagavatam, the smile of Srimati Radharani is not described, just because for the reason I mentioned earlier, the Sukdev Goswami did not want to touch those subject matters, otherwise he would not be able to finish Srimad Bhagavatam in 7 days, and Parikshit Maharaj had a time clock. So, but it is mentioned in many different books. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is one of them. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Mahaprabhu is mentioning a little bit of that. Srila Prabhupada actually once in a room conversation with Shyam Sundar Prabhu had mentioned that Radharani's smile is one of her 64 arts. Her arts also include dancing and cooking, but the purpose and the effect of any of all those arts is simply to make Krishna happy, simply to please Krishna. So therein we see that Radharani's smile is kind of the stimulus in awakening of Krishna's love for her. And that's why Mahaprabhu came. In a book called Chaitanya Chandrodhaya Nataka, Krishna himself admits the power of Srimati Radharani's smile. It says, quote, Shri Radha is very beautiful. When she covers her face with her sari, the little I see of her smile is like liquid camphor filtered through a finely woven cloth. And in Ujjvala Nilamani, it states that Krishna is always eager to see Srimati Radharani's smile, especially when her smile signals that she is no longer angry with him. Therein, in that book, it is stated, quote, Srimati Vrinda Devi once said to Krishna, angry Radharani heard the Gopi messenger say, quotes, when the charming nectar moon bathed the forest on the Yamuna shore, With splendid moonlight, angry Radharani suddenly became pacified, and the luster of her smile indicated that she had become pleased with you. So, we see, there are many such descriptions given. In Govinda Lilamrita, it is written that in praising her princess, a gopi once described Radha's smile in this way. The desire vine on Hari's qualities grows in the garden of Radha's heart, and the flowers in the form of her smile. And furthermore, it is written that the soothing effect of her cooling smile, the moonlight of her face, shames the material moon in this universe and transforms Krishna day by day into an increasingly thirsty chakor bird. So there are some very beautiful pastimes. And one of these pastimes is actually by a famous poet in Vrindavan, whose name was Shri Ram Rai Das. He was actually a contemporary poet of a well-known poet, Surdas. We have heard about Surdas. Many of us, growing up in India, have read poems of Surdas. Actually, Surdas' Samadhi is in Chandra Sarovar in Brajmandal. And this pastime is found in Shri Ram Rai Das's book called, or the series of poems called Rag Kalyan. So there he describes this beautiful pastime that once Madhumangal called Krishna in a loud voice from the top of Govardhan Hill. He says, "Oh Kanhai, please help us. Vishal and Stoka are trying their best to control your cows. Take them to Goshala of Nanda Maharaj. But they are unable to do so. So they called me, and I have tried my best as well along with them. But we all are failing. I have used all my Brahminical powers, but I am still not able to control them. Nothing is working. All your cows are just dancing in ecstasy and they're running wild here and there. Now, Krishna, you do not delay. You come right now. I can see you're hiding on the top of that Kadamba tree. And I know that you're writing a letter to your beloved gopis. You need to come down right now, Krishna." But Krishna, this is hard to say, but Krishna does not want to be, in the time of responsibility, you should not be the lover of the gopis right now. It is a very delicate situation. You really have to come right now. All these loving affairs you have, they can wait. First we have to do service for Nanda Maharaj. So you come. The boy, you with dark complexion, come down right now. Otherwise, I can see your cows are going in the direction of Vrishabhanu Maharaj. So now Krishna smiles because he knows that what Madhumangal is trying to do. He's trying to make sure my cows don't go to Barsana. So Krishna says, while smiling, from very far, Krishna is sitting on this highest branch of this Kadamba tree. And Krishna starts playing his flute. And he plays 3 different notes. And suddenly, all the cows that were running wildly here and there, they stopped. And they simply started, how cows can move their heads? They all moved their heads in the direction of the tree where Krishna was sitting. It is described like a person stares at a beautiful painting. So all the cows gathered around the tree, buzzing like the bees, surrounding a lotus flower. As the flower opens. You've seen it sometimes, the lotus flower opens and the bees are buzzing around. So that all the cows are around this tree on top of which Krishna is sitting. So Krishna, he jumped from the top of that tree onto the ground. And then he just started walking in front of the cows towards Nandagram with Madhumangal on one side and with cowherd boys, Vishal and Stoka on the other side. So far away in Nandagram, Mother Yashoda was ecstatic seeing Krishna coming back. The mother is always ecstatic when the son comes back. And from great distance, she knew it's Krishna. She calls all the maidservants. She says, "Dear gopis, please spread spring in Vrindavan. My Krishna is coming. We have to welcome him. Tell Indra to send the Ayurveda elephant to sprinkle nectar on the ground. There should be roses blossoming everywhere for Krishna's arrival, all the way to the home. Make sure there is bliss in residing all the residents of Vrindavan, because they're all personifications. So, saying that, Mother Yashoda turned to her maidservant and asked her to support her, because now Mother Yashoda, because of Vatsalya Bhav, she's like shivering. She cannot wait for Krishna. Tears of love are pouring out of her eyes. Her body is perspiring. Her head is spinning with bliss. So then suddenly, Krishna blows his buffalo horn, which reverberated through the entire Vrindavan. And the gopis could be seen everywhere, rushing to gather all the paraphernalia to welcome Krishna back. So long story short, because I've been given a time that I have to now wrap up. Long story short, there is so much beautiful descriptions of this pastime. So what happens is all the gopis come. And amongst all gopis, Sri Radhika also comes. And Krishna is like, I have to now, show off my macho man abilities. I'm going to milk the cows. It's evening time. I'm going to milk the cows. And Krishna is sitting there with all the gopas. And he's staring at all the gopis. And he starts milking. Milk is not coming. He's milking. And Radharani is smiling, looking at Krishna. And Krishna is looking at Radharani's smile. He's milking. Nothing is happening. Radharani's smile is even getting broader and broader. And Krishna is smiling, liking, but he's now getting conscious. Why milk is not coming? Yashoda Mai comes by. And he goes, we will let Krishna milk the bull. We will go milk the cows. So you see, Krishna is captivated by the smile of Radharani. He doesn't even realize that he's not milking a cow, he's milking a bull. So anyway, I will pause here, because there is another one beautiful pastime. It's also hilarious. But look, we celebrated 2 days ago Sri Radha Ashtami festival. It is one of the most important festivals in Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. Yes, we celebrated Janmashtami 15 days before that, but looking at the altar, my personal realization was that this is first anniversary of Srimati Radharani. This is Radha Ashtami of her arrival here in Round Rock. And this celebration that we had, which was so intimate, I'm very, very sure that Kunj Bihari is very, very pleased with all the efforts and services that all of you have rendered in coming up to this celebration. And I know that it takes a lot of hard work. I know that it was a lot of personal sacrifice for a lot of devotees who participated in many, many activities. But without service, we don't progress in bhakti. That is also very clearly, not hidden, stated in Shastras. If we have to progress in bhakti, then we have to perform service. And service has to be performed outside of comfort zone. So with that, I will say one more thing, Srimad Bhagavatam. Just like the smile of Srimati Radharani is mentioned in other commentaries of our acharyas, smile of Krishna is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. And Bhadra Purnima is on Thursday, right? 29th? Saturday. Friday. Friday is Bhadra Purnima. In the morning of Bhadra Purnima, if one installs Srimad Bhagavatam in your house, you get immense benefit of multi lifetimes. All the sinful reactions go away. All the pious credit comes. It's said there are shlokas that actually describe that installing Srimad Bhagavatam on the day of Bhadra Purnima is like giving 1,000 cows in a charity. So today we will be taking orders from those who do not have a set of Srimad Bhagavatam, and we will personally come and deliver these Bhagavatams to you on the day of Bhadra Purnima morning. If you have a set of Bhagavatam, then you can gift it to a neighbor, to a friend, because this is a pious activity to do. And those of you who do not have a set of Bhagavatam, please give us your names, get a set of Bhagavatam, and we'll deliver it at your homes on the day of Bhadra Purnima. Srila Prabhupada ki? Yeah. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. So let us give a round of applause again for His Grace Ram Vijay Prabhu. You cannot be enthusiastic in the presence of His Grace Ram Vijay Prabhu. He is an expert in infusing everyone's heart with enthusiastic devotional service. Professionally, Prabhu works as an executive for IBM, but him and his good wife Mataji and their wonderful kids, they have given their life for the mission of Srila Prabhupada. So very grateful to Ram Vijay Prabhu for enlightening us on this auspicious importance of, the supreme most auspicious Sri Radhashtami. The next part of the program is Aarti, and requesting all the Kirtaniyas to come forward, and devotees can please rise up. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, one second.
Okay, wait. Yeah. A little more. Yeah.
Where's my phone? Where's my phone? Okay, he kept it. The switch on. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I think. Hare Krishna. Wait, slows. Wait. Hello. Haribol. Haribol. Tell them not to play. Still very new. Sorry. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंदा। Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Kunj Bihari Radha Kunj Bihari Shri Radhe Radha Kunj Bihari Radha Kunj Bihari Shri Radhe Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Jaya Jagannatha Jagannatha Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Shri Shri Radha Kunj Bihari Ji ki Jai.
Request everyone to bow down, please. Jayom Vishnupad Paramahansa Brihadacharya Srot Shri Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Jayom Vishnupad Paramahansa Brihadacharya Srot Shri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada ki Jai. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जाए. नामाचार्य शिला हरिदास ठाकुर की जाए. इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य शिला प्रभुपाद की जाए. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार शिवासारी गौर भक्त वृंद की जाए. श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जाए. वृंदावन धाम की जाए. मायापुर धाम की जाए. नवद्वीप धाम की जाए. जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जाए. गंगा माई की जाए. यमुना माई की जाए. तुलसी देवी की जाए. भक्ति देवी की जाए. सामवेद भक्तविंद की जाए. संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जाए. बृहद मृदंग की जाए. गौर प्रेमानंदी हरि हरि बोल. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga.
Namah Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Pralada Lada Daine. Lada Lada Daine. Hiranyakashipurvakshaha.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, everyone. Hare Krishna. the other microphones for us? There's some feedback. Thank you. Thank you. That was fast and efficient. A little painful for the microphone, but still fast and efficient. Thank you. Hi Krishna everyone, welcome to our Sunday program today. Anyone here for the first time? Welcome, welcome. We're so happy that you all were able to join us for the Sunday feast today. We meet here every Sunday at 11:30 a.m. all the way up to 1:32. After announcements, we will be serving prasadam here in the temple house. If you're here for the first time, please make sure to pick up a gift for you. It will be at the book table. The book table is where we serve our prasadam, so please make sure to pick that up. We'd like to thank our speaker for today, Ramachandra Prabhu. Such a wonderful class that he gave on the glories of Srimati Radharani, her mercy, her smile. Whenever that pastime of Narad Muni is shared, of how Narad Muni traveled through all of these worlds, I always think how many air miles must he have collected? You know, just traveling universe to universe. And why? It's for the quest to find the purest devotee. And it's so significant that the reason of his journey, he's willing to take all of those austerity to travel everywhere to find out who's the purest devotee, because it is in that association of that pure devotee, in that learning from them, we can elevate ourselves to Krishna consciousness. So something very powerful to learn from Narada Muni and also from the mercy of Srimati Radharani. So thank you Ramachandra Prabhu for that wonderful class. We'd like to thank Purnamasi Das Yananya Sharanaprada for the wonderful kirtan. We'd like to thank the pujaris for the pujari work services offering. We'd like to thank the devotees who did the wonderful flag decoration. We'll thank them again shortly. Who took care of the garlands, devotees who cooked an amazing feast for everyone, and devotees who will be cleaning up after the program and serving our prasadam. So let's loudly chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra to express our gratitude to all these devotees who came together to set up the Sunday program for you all. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We'd like to thank today we have an anonymous sponsor who is sponsoring for Sri Lata's birthday. They sponsored the garlands today. We request the sponsor, after our announcements are done and the program is wrapped up, to please come close to the altar. We have a very special gift for you. If you'd like to sponsor a Sunday program, either the flowers, the prasadam, the garlands, please do so. Doing sponsorships like this for a special loved one's birthday or anniversary, it helps us to continue Sunday programs like this. I always like to say anniversary because that forces either spouse to remember when their actual anniversary date is. So if you plan ahead of time, that I'm going to sponsor that Sunday, it's hard to forget the day. I'm not intentionally looking at Prabhu's, it's just accidental. You're all in my line of sight, that is why I'm looking at you. But it's a good way. Birthdays are also a great way. If you forget your children's or your siblings or your spouse's birthday, sponsor a Sunday feast on their behalf. That way you won't forget the special occasion. We'd like to again, we've been continuing this theme of gratitude. About 2 weeks ago, we celebrated Janmashtami. We are still recovering from all of the intense high that we had on Janmashtami. Yesterday, we were at the Shankarai Foundation down here distributing some books, and I met somebody who said, we came for your Janmashtami, and I think next year you need to book Ground Rock Sports Arena, because that is the only way you can accommodate all of these people here. So people are still thinking about Janmashtami, and because one of the things we really believe at our temple is we want to be transparent with all of you. So we wanted to share, this was where we were at, how much we spent this Janmashtami, and how much we received in donations. This does not include our business and community partners who help sponsor various parts of the festival. So we'd like to loudly chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra to express our gratitude to all the donors who donated for Janmashtami. If you did do a cash or a credit card donation, your name may not be up here because we're still processing through some of that. But we would like to loudly chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra to express our gratitude for all of you. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. If you'd like to help us to cover the little bit deficit that we have between our income and expenses, please speak with me or with Ramachandra Prabhu after Sunday feast, and we can provide you more details into how our expenses were and where we spent money on Janmashtami. on Friday. Isn't that just absolutely stunning? Like the pictures don't even capture justice to just, all the pictures itself are so stunning, but it's nothing compared to how phenomenal Srimati Radharani and Sri Radharani looked on Radhashtami. So again, from the bottom of our heart, we want to thank each and every devotee who came for the festival, participated with us, but also spent hours and days, so much of hard work, sweat, blood and tears, all together to create this wonderful altar. We said that day there were so many Manjaris and Sakhis of Srimati Radharani here for the community who helped do this together, and a few Sakhas who kind of came together to do this. I don't think Snake who got the joke there, but who all came together to do this. So just making sure you're listening to my announcements or not. So we all came together to do this. So as you can see on this altar, there's this beautiful floral arrangement. Anything that is offered in the service of the Lord, Srimati Radharani, Shri Krishna, becomes very special. It is like a part of them. So we are going to be, right after the announcements, taking off some of those floral arrangements. They're one cluster. If anybody is interested in taking that arrangement to your home, you can put this on your altar as well, or you can put it in your house for a couple of days. It is very auspicious. Please come here. Right here. So we'll do this right after announcements, and then if you'd like to just give any donation from your heart to help cover the cost of that, that would be wonderful. So this will come straight from the altar, from the lotus feet of Shri Radharani. We have in our Vaishnava calendar, I call these as super weeks. You have these they come I think 3 times or 4 times a year where you have back-to-back special festivals. So this is one of those weeks as we head over into the 3rd month of Chaturmasya. So tomorrow, Monday, is Parsva Ekadashi. Ekadashi is, I think 2 weeks ago, Charu Gopika Mataji spoke about it. Ekadashis are very auspicious days in our calendar, in our Sanatana Dharma, to take some time to meditate on the Lord. If you can fast on that day. But most important is to listen to the holy name, to chant more, to read more, to spend more time in the service of the Lord. So please take this opportunity tomorrow for this. September 26th, we celebrate Shri Vamana Dvadashi. It is the appearance day of Vamanadev. Vamanadev is one of the Dashavatar of Lord Krishna, and Vamanadev is known for what? What did he do?
He saved Mother Earth.
Sorry. He saved Bali Maharaj. He liberated Bali Maharaj by asking Bali Maharaj for 3 steps. Did you say Balaha?
Yeah.
Yes, I thought so too. Yeah, Vamanadev. That happens to me all the time. I had to check twice before I did this announcement. It is Vamanadev. So, Vamanadev is the incarnation of the Lord who goes to Bali Maharaj, as he appears as a dwarf incarnation, and he goes to Bali Maharaj, and Bali Maharaj asks him, what do you want? And Vamanadev says, I want 3 pieces of land, just 3 steps worth of land. And Bali Maharaj says, okay, that's all you're asking, I'll give you the 3 steps. And then for the first step, Vamanadev covers the entire planet. Second step, he covers the entire universe, and then he looks at Bali Maharaj and says, now I have no space for my 3rd step, where should I do? Where should I put it? And Bali Maharaj offers obeisances to him and says, please put your foot on my head. And this is so significant. This whole pastime actually is a glorification. In Srimad Bhagavatam, and we'll talk about it shortly, does not actually talk about Vamanadev much, even though Vamanadev is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This pastime we remember through the glories of Bali Maharaj. The Bali Maharaj was such a pure devotee of the Lord, such a great devotee, even though being such a big king, his attitude was that of service, that, I have to fulfill a promise, so put your leg on my head. So this is a very auspicious day to meditate on Vamanadev and of course to meditate on Bali Maharaj. It is also a day of appearance for Srila Jiva Goswami. So Jiva Goswami is the author of a lot of literature in our Bhakti tradition, especially the Tat Sandarbhas, and it is important to meditate on these acharyas because it is by their diligence of writing so much of literature and scriptures today we are able to accept them in different languages, so it helps us. Continuing that, on 27th is the appearance of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who on the altar, if you see next to Srila Prabhupada, is the second, another picture right after, with a picture after that. Those pictures were supposed to be switched. So he is the spiritual master. He's the father of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who is the spiritual master of Srila Prabhupada, but he's also Srila Prabhupada's grand guru. For those of you in the Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition. It is the day we fast until noon. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur's significance is that he predicted, sitting in West Bengal, looking outside from his house, he predicted that one day the holy name will be chanted all over the globe. This was in the early 19th century. So it is by the vision of great leaders like Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Today we are sitting in Round Rock, Texas, which in the grand scheme of things is literally the middle of nowhere, still chanting the holy name of Krishna, still getting to relish the mercy of Shri Radharani Vijay. Continuing on the appearance and disappearance, on 28th we celebrate the disappearance of Shri Haridas Thakur, again a pure devotee of the Lord who was known for chanting over 1 lakh names of Lord Krishna every single day. So please use this week as an opportunity to meditate on these acharyas. It's because of them we are able to continue to practice bhakti tradition wherever we are at. So after a power-packed week, we come to the end of the week with a very, very powerful event, which is Shri Bhadra Purnima. Srimad Bhagavatam ki. We've been speaking about Srimad Bhagavatam a lot because there is so much to talk about Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna, he describes in various Puranas how he incarnates in different forms. And it is said that the literary incarnation of Krishna is Srimad Bhagavatam, which means Srimad Bhagavatam which means Srimad Bhagavatam is literally having a deity of Lord Krishna in your house. It is not, Srimad Bhagavatam is not different from Krishna. The potency of Srimad Bhagavatam, the vibration Srimad Bhagavatam bring in your house is unparalleled. So we request each of you to use this opportunity of Bhadra Purnima to get a Srimad Bhagavatam in your house. Normally I don't differ from Vijay Prabhu, but I want to disagree with him on one thing. He said if you have Srimad Bhagavatam, give it as a gift. No, you can keep it for yourself. You can get another Bhagavatam also for yourself. My husband walked in at the right time, so I can tell you this. We have our own copy of Srimad Bhagavatam because we don't want marital conflict. Because I like to put sticky notes in my Bhagavatam, he doesn't like anything in my Bhagavatam. That is not a point of contention. Like Madhavi is also agreeing with me. So every member in your house who can read should have a Srimad Bhagavatam. I'm saying who can read, that includes children also. Anybody, thank you. Anybody who can read should have their own copy of Srimad Bhagavatam. Does everyone have their own cell phone? Adults at least? Do you share your cell phone with your spouse? No. Why do you want to share Srimad Bhagavatam then? So please have your own copy of Srimad Bhagavatam. Mudita Mataji is agreeing with me. Please take a Srimad Bhagavatam today. If you have it, your spouse have it, all your kids have it, then share the mercy with your neighbors. Take it for your neighbors, then make sure your entire street is inundated with Srimad Bhagavatam. So please take a copy today. And we have a very, very special offer happening this year for Srimad Bhagavatam. If you purchase a set of Srimad Bhagavatam this year as part of Bhadra Purnima, you get this beautiful painting for free. This is $99 worth of painting, but you get it for free by purchasing Srimad Bhagavatam. So those of you who already purchased Bhagavatam and haven't received it, please speak with me afterwards. But please take Srimad Bhagavatam to your house. It changes your life. And Srimad Bhagavatam is not only available in English, we have it available in Hindi, Gujarati, Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam. No, Hindi, Gujarati, Tamil, Telugu. And if you need Spanish, if anyone needs Spanish, we can make a Spanish Bhagavatam available also. We don't have many in stock right now because over North America and globally, the goal is to distribute, I think, 55,000 Bhagavatams or so this year. It's a large number. So book Bhagavatams are just going like hotcakes right now. So we have the ordered and they're on their way from California here. We should get it any day now. So please take a copy of Srimad Bhagavatam. You can speak with Gopal Bhav Prabhu, who's raising his hands there. If you need, at the book table, he can provide you more information. I will be here as well. I'm happy to provide more information. But I cannot stress enough the importance of taking a Bhagavatam set to your home. And to help us get even more enthusiastic about Bhagavatam, we're super excited. His Holiness Guru Prasad Maharaj will be here next Sunday here in Inner Temple. And this will be Maharaj's first visit, right? Here? After COVID. It's been like a long time since Maharaj came. We're really excited. His Holiness Guru Prasad Maharaj, actually, he has such an interesting background. Maharaj is by background a nuclear physicist. And he was studying in UT Austin when he met the devotees and got interested in Krishna consciousness. Maharaj spent a lot of his time in Latin America and Mexico, helped spreading the teaching of Krishna consciousness. And Maharaj was, when he found out this was the weekend he was going to come, he was super excited because he gets to talk about Srimad Bhagavatam, and he will be here encouraging, inspiring all of us to take Srimad Bhagavatam and read Srimad Bhagavatam. So please don't miss that special Sunday feast. This weekend we had a very busy Sankirtan week. Here we go out, distribute books. Many of you sponsored some of these books. Many of you took part. We were out at 2 Garba events. We were out at Round Rock Garba event last Sunday, SEF yesterday. Here in the middle picture, you see we had a wonderful installation for Srimad Bhagavatam. I forgot about that. If you do purchase the Srimad Bhagavatam, we can, take it home. We can bring it to your home, and we'll also do a small puja to welcome Srimad Bhagavatam to your house. So we did this yesterday at a family's home in Georgetown here. They had an entire beautiful altar which just came from India, and the first thing that went on the altar was Srimad Bhagavatam. That is how auspicious it is. So please make sure, we're thankful to all the devotees who took part for these events, and we're grateful to all of you for your support here. I am wrapping up, I promise. Just a general announcement for the temple. We request parents to just watch over the children, be safe, particularly in high traffic areas, near the driveway, even the play area. Just watch out for any bugs or any insects also in that place. Please make sure to take your belongings when you leave the temple hall. And during prasadam time, please make sure that if you need any assistance, let the servers know and they can help you. One important announcement is very often we go into the temple house to use the bathroom, or we may sit there for prasadam. We humbly request, if you go in, please make sure the door is closed behind you. That allows the air conditioning to actually function there. So if you see the door is open, please keep closing that door to keep the place cool, since it's still pretty warm outside. If you'd like to volunteer for the temple, please join our WhatsApp group. Ask any of the servers how you can help out more with the activities we do here in the temple. And finally, there are many ways to stay in touch. If you enjoyed your time here today, please do leave us a Google review that allows more people to find us and come here and experience the mercy of Shri Radharani. With that, we'll chant Prasadam prayers together. Mahaprasade Govinde Namo Namo.
Yeah.